As we've been reporting, U.S. Customs and Border Protection admits the agency failed to protect an 8-year-old girl who died in their custody back in May.
CBS News correspondent Lilia Luciano spoke with the child's parents.
Si hubieran llamado a la ambulancia antes, yo sé que mi hija estuviera aquí conmigo.
If they had called the ambulance sooner, you know your daughter would be here.
Mabel Alvarez says she lost count of the times she begged for an ambulance to take her 8-year-old daughter, Anadith, to the hospital over multiple days.
Cuando ellos quisieron llamar a la ambulancia,
When they finally wanted to call the ambulance took about 5 minutes. That's when I realized how close the hospital was to us and that they could have done something.
The family, originally from Honduras, migrated to Panama, where Anadith was born. Mabel and her husband Russell say their situation there became unlivable and felt forced to migrate north. They took a 5-month journey across Mexico.
The
day we were crossing the river, she grabbed my hand happy. Daddy, Daddy, let's go. Let's go to Grandma. She's going to buy me a doll.
He says when they crossed the border into Brownsville, Texas, they thought they were finally somewhere safe.
The problem was crossing and being in Texas. The Border Patrol there was our nightmare.
The 5 went to a U.S. detention center in Donna, Texas, where Anadith got sick and tested positive for the flu. They were then moved to a Border Patrol station in Harlingen, Texas, for isolation. Preliminary U.S. Customs and Border Protection findings confirmed that the family repeatedly requested medical attention, including an ambulance for Anadith, who suffered from sickle cell anemia and had a heart condition.
él se paró enfrente de mi hija y le dijo,
A patrol agent didn't believe me. He stood in front of my daughter and told her, "Tell me how you can't breathe, because a girl that can't breathe would be passing out, and you're not passing out, you're fine," he told my daughter.
The preliminary findings also found the family requested medical attention at least 9 times. A nurse contractor denied at least 3 requests to call an ambulance and also didn't properly record medical visits. It also found officials failed to consult an on-call pediatrician. The last time Mabel went to seek medical help for her daughter, she was turned away. And before getting back to her cell, Anadith had a seizure and collapsed. Russell saw it all happen.
I looked at my daughter and I said to myself, my daughter is saying, Daddy, I can't go on. They killed me. I can't go on.
en su mirada,
The look in her eyes.
She just looked at me and she was gone.
She was sick and I told her, "Baby, there's your daddy. Look at him."
y los doctores me estaban viendo.
The doctors were looking at me and said, "What happened?" I told them, "You've already killed my daughter."
A CBP official concedes the system failed her, saying, quote, "There were many parts of the system that did not function as designed to protect Anadith." That official says reforms are underway to ensure those errors don't occur again.
It's still difficult for me. I miss her at night. I remember her as a loving child.
Ella soñaba
She dreamed of so many things. She had big dreams for herself.
On Tuesday, an independent court-ordered review cited Anadith's death as a preventable tragedy that raises profound concerns. I'll tell you, this story, there's just so much that we can't include in these few minutes. But as you know, Camilo Montoya Galvez and I have been working, he's been working on this story far longer. It's been an ongoing investigation of ours. But just sitting with those parents, hearing how they just felt humiliated, ignored, dehumanized at every level, and still having that strength to fight because they want to change the system. They want to prevent other families from going through what they have been going through.
As a parent, those details about her dying in her mother's arms, they destroy you. And when you see that statement, these errors don't occur again, that's what they want to do. I'm just wondering, Lilia, have you been able to find out anything more about what officials are doing to try and prevent any child like Anadith from not only dying, but the number of times that she and her family were dismissed?
Lana, as you said, as a parent, you know that when a child has a high fever, that means something. She had a fever. There were symptoms. There was plenty that the mother was showing that was being ignored. The people that they were dealing with was people who worked for a medical contract. They were contracted by CBP. And these medical contractors, now CBP has cut ties with them. They no longer are contracted with CBP. That was one of the first things that they did. Of course, the investigation is ongoing. Also, the DA in Cameron County has launched a criminal investigation related to negligence that could possibly lead to charges. But all of that is ongoing. The investigation is ongoing. One thing that they did say is, you know, we were there for 9 days. That means 8 days while Anadith was alive, 1 more day after she died. The policy says that migrants should be released after 72 hours. 3 days is what should take for them to be processed.
And her grandmother waiting,
for 9 days.
Waiting for her.
Exactly. And so, you know, that's one of the things that the parents say. You know, first of all, there's also an element of racial discrimination that they're alleging, that they're saying, look, we were discriminated against because we're Black. The majority of people in detention were Latinos who are not Black, were not Afro-descendant. And so they talk about that they felt discriminated all along. And so, you know, part of what they want to do is make sure that the policies that are in place are implemented, and also that nobody needs to be dehumanized for being migrants.
It's such a huge weight for those parents to carry on their shoulders at a time of grief. I mean, even to find out that help was 5 minutes away the entire time.
That killed me. Right.
And that a Border Patrol agent refused to believe them. And as you were telling us as your story was running, the young girl, Anadith, dying in her mother's arms. They will, of course, need therapy and all sorts of other help. But what about a lawsuit? Are they considering that?
They have attorneys, and those attorneys will support whatever they want to do. They want to see accountability. A lawsuit has not been filed, at least not yet. But yes, I mean, there have been plenty of findings from independent investigators, from CBP itself, that the system failed her, that this was preventable, that things did go wrong. And for now, the conditions in which they're living while they're still waiting for their asylum case to go through are not great. I talked to the person from the Haitian Bridge Alliance, Gerlin Joseph, who is one of the only organizations focused on helping Black migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. And she says, people haven't come to their rescue. They are struggling. They're living in poverty. So we'll see how this all plays out, but certainly that's an option.
And this is just one story, but we appreciate you and Camilo and our entire team keeping a spotlight on
Thank you.
what's
Camilo's
happened
been doing remarkable work on this, as always.
Lilia
As you
Luciano.
have as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.